Do you want to be strong, confident and resilient in the face of any challenge? Or do you want to be weak, insecure and easily defeated by life's difficulties? Many of us unknowingly practice habits that weaken us, sabotaging our potential for growth and happiness. These habits stand in stark contrast to the timeless principles of Stoicism, a philosophy that champions wisdom, courage, justice and self-control. In this video, we're uncovering the 12 habits that lead to weakness and unveiling Stoic practices to replace them. By embracing these principles, you'll not only become stronger, but also happier and more successful. If you're ready to strengthen your resolve and transform your life, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Without further ado, let's dive into the wisdom of Stoicism and discover how to overcome these habits that hold us back. Habit 1. Unveiling the curse of complaining. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Complaining, a habit as common as it is detrimental, weakens us in myriad ways. By fixating on the negative aspects of our circumstances, we squander valuable time and energy. Moreover, the more we complain, the more our mood and motivation plummet, dragging us deeper into a state of weakness. What's worse, constant complaining alienates those around us, pushing away potential sources of support and understanding. Yet Stoicism offers a potent antidote to the poisonous habit of complaining. By embracing the concept of accepting what lies beyond our control, while taking decisive action on what we can influence, we reclaim our power. Imagine the liberation that comes from focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Whether at work, in relationships or facing health challenges, Stoic principles guide us toward a mindset of proactive acceptance, enabling us to flourish amidst adversity. Let's explore another habit that erodes our strength and resilience. Habit 2. Confronting the peril of procrastination. Seneca's words resonate deeply. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Procrastination, a silent thief of time and potential, weakens us by delaying our progress and hindering our productivity. Each moment spent procrastinating is a moment squandered, a missed opportunity to move closer to our goals. Furthermore, the habit of procrastination breeds stress and anxiety, chipping away at our self-discipline and self-respect. With every promise broken to ourselves and others, we diminish our sense of integrity and efficacy. In embracing Stoic philosophy, we discover a powerful remedy for the ailment of procrastination. By setting clear, attainable goals and breaking them down into manageable tasks, we regain control over our actions. Prioritizing the most critical and urgent tasks allows us to channel our energy purposefully, fostering a sense of accomplishment and momentum. Whether tackling academic pursuits, professional endeavors, or personal aspirations, Stoic principles guide us toward disciplined action, enabling us to transcend the grip of procrastination. Now, let's delve into another habit that undermines our strength and resilience. Habit 3. Escaping the pitfalls of finger-pointing. Reflecting on Epictetus's wisdom, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. Blaming, a habit deeply ingrained in human nature, weakens us by shifting responsibility for our problems and failures onto external factors. Rather than confronting our own shortcomings and mistakes, we point fingers elsewhere, absolving ourselves of accountability. In doing so, we relinquish the opportunity for growth and self-improvement, perpetuating a cycle of stagnation and resentment. The Stoic philosophy offers an alternative to blaming. Taking ownership of our actions, reactions, and emotions, and acknowledging our role in creating and solving our problems. For example, instead of blaming our family for our unhappiness, we can acknowledge our role in maintaining or changing the dynamics. Instead of blaming our friends for a failed project, we can take ownership of our part in the failure and work towards a solution. In our professional life, instead of blaming our colleagues for a toxic work environment, we can acknowledge our role in contributing to or challenging the toxicity. Next, let's explore another habit that undermines our strength and resilience. Habit 4. Liberating yourself from the shadows of envy. Epictetus reminds us there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Comparing ourselves to others is a habit that weakens us by fostering discontentment and envy. When we constantly measure our worth against the achievements and possessions of others, we diminish our sense of self and overlook our own unique strengths and virtues. This constant comparison distorts our perception of reality, leading us to believe that we are somehow lacking or inferior. The Stoic alternative to comparing is focusing on our own values, goals, and progress, and being grateful for what we have and who we are. For example, instead of comparing our lives with the seemingly perfect lives we see on social media, we can focus on our own progress and achievements. In our hobbies, instead of comparing our skills with those of experts, we can focus on improving our own skills. In sports, instead of comparing our performance with that of professional athletes, we can focus on our own fitness and health. Now let's uncover another habit that weakens our resolve and diminishes our potential. Habit 5. Navigating the lure of distractions. Marcus Aurelius offers solace. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Escaping, whether through distractions, pleasures, or addictions, is a habit that weakens us by allowing us to avoid confronting our problems and challenges. Instead of facing adversity head-on, we seek temporary relief in external stimuli, numbing ourselves to the discomfort of reality. However, this avoidance only prolongs our suffering and prevents us from experiencing genuine growth and fulfillment. The Stoic philosophy offers an alternative to escaping, confronting your reality and finding solace and strength in your inner self. For example, instead of escaping from stress by binge-watching TV shows, we can confront the source of our stress and find ways to manage it. Instead of escaping from boredom by mindlessly scrolling through social media, we can find meaningful activities that engage our minds and bodies. Instead of escaping from loneliness by immersing ourselves in virtual worlds, we can seek real connections with ourselves and others. Now let's examine another habit that undermines our strength and hinders our growth. Habit 6. Embracing authenticity over approval. Epictetus advises, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. The habit of constantly seeking approval and validation from others weakens us by compromising our authenticity and integrity. When we prioritize pleasing others over honoring our own values and convictions, we betray ourselves and erode our self-respect. Moreover, this relentless pursuit of external validation leaves us vulnerable to manipulation and exploitation, as we sacrifice our autonomy in exchange for fleeting acceptance. The Stoic alternative to pleasing is being authentic, honest, and respectful, and following our own judgment and conscience. For example, at work, instead of pleasing our boss by agreeing with everything they say, we can express our own ideas and concerns respectfully. In relationships, instead of pleasing our partner by suppressing our feelings and needs, we can communicate them honestly and constructively. In our hobbies, instead of pleasing our audience by conforming to popular trends, we can create what truly resonates with us. Let's now explore another habit that weakens our resolve and inhibits our potential for growth. Habit 7. Finding peace amidst the storm of anxiety. Seneca wisely remarked, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Worrying, a habit ingrained in human nature, weakens us by consuming our mental and emotional energy with fears and anxieties about the future. Dwelling on potential catastrophes and worst-case scenarios robs us of the present moment, hindering our ability to fully engage with life's opportunities and challenges. Moreover, excessive worrying impairs our judgment and decision-making, clouding our perception with irrational fears and doubts. Stoicism offers a transformative perspective on the destructive habit of worrying. By embracing mindfulness and acceptance of the present moment, we free ourselves from the grip of anxiety and fear. For example, instead of worrying about health issues, we can adopt a healthy lifestyle and get regular checkups. Instead of worrying about financial security, we can save, invest, and spend wisely. Instead of worrying about career progression, we can acquire new skills, build networks, and seize opportunities. Now let's delve into another habit that weakens our resolve and diminishes our potential for growth. Habit 8. Seeing through the veil of prejudice. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Judging others, a habit deeply ingrained in human nature, weakens us by fostering arrogance, intolerance, and resentment. When we pass judgment on others based on superficial observations or preconceived notions, we close ourselves off to the richness of diversity and the potential for growth through understanding. Moreover, this habit of judgmental thinking creates unnecessary conflict and hostility, poisoning our relationships and undermining our sense of community. Stoicism offers a profound alternative to the destructive habit of judging. By cultivating humility and open-mindedness, we foster a spirit of curiosity and compassion toward others. Rather than rushing to conclusions or imposing our own beliefs onto others, we seek to understand differing perspectives and appreciate the complexity of human experience. For example, in politics, instead of judging people based on their political beliefs, we can try to understand their perspectives and values. In religion, instead of judging people based on their religious beliefs, we can appreciate the diversity of faiths and the commonality of human values. In culture, instead of judging people based on their cultural practices, we can learn about their traditions and customs. Now, let's explore the next habit that weakens our resolve and hinders our growth. Habit 9. Embracing the challenge of perseverance. Seneca's wisdom resonates. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Quitting, the ultimate manifestation of weakness, robs us of the opportunity for growth and fulfillment. When faced with challenges and obstacles, succumbing to the temptation to quit diminishes our resilience and stifles our potential. By abandoning our dreams and aspirations at the first sign of difficulty, we forfeit the satisfaction and pride that come from overcoming adversity and achieving our goals. Moreover, quitting perpetuates a cycle of mediocrity and regret, denying us the opportunity to realize our true potential. The Stoic alternative to quitting is persevering, adapting, and improving, and seeing every obstacle as an opportunity to grow, learn, and excel. By embracing perseverance and resilience in the face of adversity, we tap into a wellspring of inner strength and determination. Rather than viewing obstacles as insurmountable barriers, we see them as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Whether pursuing academic endeavors, professional aspirations, or personal passions, Stoic principles guide us toward a mindset of relentless perseverance and unwavering commitment. Now, let's delve into another habit that weakens our resolve and diminishes our potential for growth. Habit 10. Chasing shadows of validation. Seneca's words ring true. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Constantly seeking validation from external sources weakens us by tethering our self-worth to the opinions and approval of others. When we rely on external validation to feel worthy or accomplished, we surrender our autonomy and diminish our inner strength. Moreover, this incessant need for validation perpetuates a cycle of insecurity and dependence, preventing us from cultivating genuine self-esteem and confidence. Stoicism offers a potent alternative to the destructive habit of seeking validation. By cultivating self-reliance and self-acceptance, we liberate ourselves from the shackles of external judgment. Rather than seeking validation from others, we find fulfillment in our own intrinsic worth and accomplishments. Whether navigating social interactions, professional achievements, or personal goals, Stoicism guides us toward a mindset of inner resilience and empowerment. Let's now explore another habit that undermines our strength and detracts from our potential for growth. Habit 11. Breaking free from the past's chains. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Dwelling on past mistakes, regrets, or grievances weakens us by tethering us to a reality that no longer exists. When we ruminate on past events, we rob ourselves of the present moment and hinder our ability to fully engage with life's opportunities and challenges. Moreover, this fixation on the past breeds resentment, bitterness, and stagnation, preventing us from moving forward and embracing new experiences. Stoicism offers a transformative perspective on the destructive habit of living in the past. By embracing mindfulness and acceptance of the present moment, we free ourselves from the chains of regret and resentment. Rather than dwelling on past misfortunes or missed opportunities, we focus on the here and now, seizing the moment with clarity and purpose. Whether confronting past traumas, setbacks, or failures, Stoic principles guide us toward a path of healing, growth, and renewal. Now let's delve into another habit that weakens our resolve and hinders our potential for growth. Habit 12. Conquering the paralysis of indecision. Epictetus wisely advises, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Indecision, the paralysis of choice, weakens us by robbing us of agency and control over our lives. When we waver in making decisions, we relinquish our power to shape our destiny and forge our own path. Moreover, this chronic indecisiveness breeds uncertainty, anxiety, and self-doubt, preventing us from fully committing to our goals and aspirations. Stoicism offers a powerful remedy to the debilitating habit of indecision. By cultivating clarity of thought and purposeful action, we reclaim our ability to make confident decisions. Rather than succumbing to the fear of making the wrong choice, we trust in our inner wisdom and embrace the inherent uncertainty of life. Whether facing major life decisions, career choices, or personal dilemmas, Stoicism guides us toward a mindset of courage, decisiveness, and self-assurance. With all that said, please continue watching the recommended videos now on your screen, or check out one of the videos on our homepage. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay strong, stay stoic. Live well, live wisely.